first win here. So they just need to carry this momentum into the second map, which is going to be a control map. Nepal or Lijiang. We've seen the teams play on Nepal before. We haven't seen them play on Lijiang. I'm interested to see how they approach that map because Nepal and Lijiang are both very different.
Right, exactly. And remember, it is loser's pick, so this is all on Regenerate's decision to see what happens next. Regenerate still looking for that win. It's in the win somewhere. You know, it's floating around them. They just got to grab it out of the sky and Regenerate. It is trying to decide their next move here. But yeah, great team play from Team Exiles. I feel like everyone was kind of on beat. You know, you could point out to Swallies, Hi Alex, the admin, or yeah, the Adam. It's just so all of them just working in tandem. You know, doing their job, and like I said, controlling the environment, controlling the tempo, and it is going to be Nepal. It seems like.
Okay. Map we've all seen before. Again, like I said, the teams have played it. They know exactly how they want to approach this, and I'm sure they've been practicing on all the maps that are in the pool. It only makes sense, to play scrims beyond the match because each time you got that 1 day of downtime, or if you get a bye, then you don't have to play any matches, and neither of these teams we've seen play since Monday, so they've had pretty much a whole week to practice the maps that they've lost, and I'm sure they did because they did come out 0-2 and they want to prepare so they can start getting some wins. And Team Exile seems like they've done their homework. They've been hitting the books recently, and that's, I think, how they're able to come out with their first win with that dive defense and offense.
Yeah, and that's why I think that's why we're gonna see some improvement from both these teams. I feel like whoever walks away with the win here is gonna get some momentum going. It's we are early in these stages. We're still in round 2 out of 7, but once we're starting to get to those middle stages, those kind of 4 and 5 rounds, I feel like that's where those early losses could hurt you. And the team that goes down 0-3 here, it could be the one that's kind of feeling that pain essentially. It's gonna feel that like pressure to be like, okay, we're going down a lot. We need to get the ball rolling, and both these teams want to start building up that momentum for later.
Yeah, we're going to start out here on Lijiang Gardens. This is going to be a boop map for sure, so I expect to see a Fair on both sides, maybe even a Lucio for those environmentals, and then,
Hmm.
probably dive on both sides here. But I see the Adams on this Ana. I don't know if this is a pick that he's going to stay on, but I'm interested to see once more again how these teams want to approach running the Ana with the dive comp because back in the day Ana was actually a pretty solid supporter of dive comp. She could shut down the opposing dive with her sleep dart or the anti-heal grenade, and then of course use her healing on the front line to keep everyone up while the Lucio just speed boosts everyone around. And I mean, he's not switching for now. It looks like he's pretty serious with this pick, so I want to say, nope,
Hmm.
never mind. As I say that, it was all a debate. He's going to switch over to the Zenyatta here. In this healing line, I expect Mr. Mustachio to switch off onto the Pharah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or no, the Mercy.
Just gonna boost them out of the point and then switch on to that Mercy. There we go. The pharmacy comps are in the sky, going to start to engage each other. I think it's going to be up to the other DPS though. That's going to be the one to control it. Alex and Loyo on either side, controlling the ground war while the air war is going to be fought. Up there, kind of not paying too much attention, but ooh, IDGAF takes a rocket. Looking very careful.
Yeah, Artemka, though, is the first to be demech. But the Adam and Jace Winbu now to fall on the side of Team Exile. Regenerate looking good to take this first point. Mr. Mustachio, oh my goodness, he ducked into the water and then flew out of there to avoid Chisam God and let Swallies finish him off. What a play. My goodness, I thought he was dead, but no. I thought he was just going for the reset, but my goodness, he actually pulled that off. That was really impressive.
Really impressive plays. These teams may be at the bottom of the table at the moment, but they still are professionals. Professionals performing at the level they need to be performing at right now. And this is going to be a fair fight. And ooh, just
Jeez,
Winbu almost got
Winbu.
moved off the side.
Gotta be careful there, but now Alex is being pressured by Loyo's. Gotta be careful because he was Tracer. Oh, but my goodness! That was disgusting! A close range flick onto Loyo is gonna put an end to any dreams he had of taking down Alex, and now this might have just won them the point. What a disgusting flick by Alex there. That was nutty.
Yeah, the kill feed seems to be glitching out because it says Zenyatta did the rocket barrage, but still, Very, very good place. Just
Jeff?
Wimbu's going to take out the the two supports, and the point is going to flip over very convincingly, starting off with the rocket barrage and a sick flick from Alex.
My goodness, I'm still kind of in shock from that. I totally thought Loyo had that one in the bag, and then all of a sudden, Alex pulls that one out of nowhere. Seemingly. Here comes the dive, however. You see the boop come out from Pyro. It's not going to find a whole lot, though, but the pressure's there on the front line. You've got the Valkyrie as well from Juthi's here trying to support the team. The bomb as well. Lots of ultimates. Mr. Pistachio's down. Couldn't find the cover. Jasam got us the next to beef out, but here comes a barrage from IDGAF. Does catch the Zen, but is it going to be enough? The Diva was there to deal with it for the most part. And here comes Pyro. He's starting to frag out here. He's starting to feel it, and this is a man on fire. You see it. He's literally on fire here for his team. The only one on both sides, and he is building closer to that barrage once more, wants to get himself back into the air as fast as possible.
Both Zenyatas have the ultimate, so that's going to be the key here to moving in here. Alex is going to find the key pick on the IDGAF. That's going to open things up because either the Mercy's going to have to use the reds before the fight even starts, or you're just going to have to wait it out, let the team get essentially 10% more, and that seems like that's what they're going to do. Let the team get 10% more of capture point before the fight even starts. So great essential stagger pick.
Here comes the dive, though. Jasam God is there along with the Diva. They're supporting each other. He's got the Primal Rage, can afford to play a little aggro here. Might want to back off for the time being, but no. Alex and Swalies and the Zenyatta are going to finish him off. They're just discorded. Ooh. And there you go. The picks once more. IDGAF takes a tactical reset into the water. And actually, Loyo here is pressured. He could not escape, unfortunately, and Jace Winbo is going to get the stagger pick on the far back there in that back health room. And here we go. Pyro, you've let him build up his barrage, and he's got this ready. All the ultimates are on the side of Team Exile right now.
Yeah, and I feel like it's so hard to go against Team Exile when they already have control of the point. When they get set up in the position they want to get set up in, that's going to be the key. The Primal Rage is going to get popped. It's going to get thrown in there, try to find some knocking people around.
Oh, but Adam is going to be able to finish him off. But here comes the barrage in the side of Pyro. There's a bomb as well. Jurahara, you cannot escape. You can't get out of there. Here's a counter bomb, though. It's not going to find anything. They were able to escape for the most part, and IDGAF doesn't have the barrage. He can't get the picks that he needs because Swalies is just oppressive on this Diva with the Matrix. Jasam God tries to dive in, but he's not going to have his cooldown off in time. And 100 to 43% goes Lijiang Garden.
Yeah, I just want to mention that before this match started, both teams technically were in the standings because the group stages worked on map differential. Both of them were -2. At the moment, Team Exile is -1 and Regenerate is -3. Now, Regenerate, even if you don't win this map, even if you don't win the game, still coming away with a win on one of the maps, forcing a game 3, that would still be helpful for you because then you don't lose 2 more map differential. You lose only 1. Well, if Team Exile wins this map right now, wins here on Lijiang Tower, then that's going to be them going back to 0, essentially playing 500 baseball, it seems like, going all the way back, restarting, and that's going to be a refreshing start for them. They may have gotten swept in their first game, but now coming out here, if they sweep them right back, that's going to feel pretty good for them.
Yeah, they can even out the map differential because they're down 2, bring themselves back up to 0 here, pick themselves up off the ground. But here comes the Rhine play from both sides, and Loyo is the first to fall. That's unfortunate. The Junkrat's gone. You lose a lot of pressure. Swalies is off on himself. You're on a little bit of a mission, but IDGAF is going to finish him off. Was looking for the kill, and now he's found 2. Artemka, though, is the one to go down on the side of Regenerate here, but I think the picks were just too much. IDGAF is just popping off right now with 3 kills in this fight, finishing off Pyro, Swalies, and the Atom, and now Jay Swinbu as well. They're all gone. It's just Alex left, and he can't 1v5 here. IDGAF. Goodness gracious.
Oh, goodness. Does not want to go home with going down 0-4. He definitely does not feel that right now. He essentially just got a team wipe all by himself. It was very spread out, but still, getting all those picks. He's on fire now. And he's going to try to hold this point out. And I think you want to mimic essentially Team Exile here on this defense. You want to get set up in a position where that no matter how they come at you, you want to be ready. Pyro and the pharmacy comp in general is kind of rotating outside, just raining in rockets behind him. Here comes the dragon.
Oh, the Shatter as well.
Shatter, yeah.
Not going to really find a whole lot, though, beyond Jay Swinbu. But I think that's just going to be enough because with the Ryan out of the equation there, that is the formula for success on the side of Regenerate here. And yeah, the Pharah the Pharaoh and the Mercy, they've rotated on the outside here. Jay Swinbu's back. He's able to charge there as fast as he can, and they don't have the Shatter. They don't have the Dragons. Could be an opportunity here for a Team Exile, but here's the Valkyrie from Juthies, healing everybody up, and there's a Tyra as well in the back. Loyo's looking for the frags. Can he find it? Adam is there, and he cannot shut down that Tyre, put the brakes on it, and this is, again, the fight going towards the Regenerate here.
Yeah, Pyro's been outside of this map for super long, but then IDG, you know, he's just been kind of pecking at them, and it wasn't really making a difference. He was out there for essentially the whole fight, and IDGF finally turns around and gives a little bit of attention to the pharmacy comp and takes it out. But really, you're wasting the Mercy's resources, which could be out there healing the whole team. You know, he's sticking with Pyro, who wasn't getting anything, but they do have all 6 ultimates, so we'll see if it makes a difference.
The Dragon's combo is there as well. It's going to find Jay Swinbu, actually. But here's Pyro applying the pressure in the backline. Takes down IDGEF. Wants to finish off Jirohara, who's 1 HP. But it's overtime now on the point. The Atom is the one to fall. And here's a counter Graviton Surge from Artemka. It's going to get just a little more value. Tire, though, from Loyo. It was a suicide mission there. He knew he couldn't get that one off. And he's going to be finished off. But here's a huge shatter. The Rhine is down. Is it enough? There's a counter Dragon Strike Surge in there. Swallies is down. Jay Swinbu is fallen on the point. It's just Mr. Mustachio. And Pyro has to switch off route to the Tracer here to try and contest, but he's hit with a Fire Strike at 50 HP. He's got to get out of there, and there's just too much damage. The 150 HP can't hold on for long, and 100-0 goes Control Center to Regenerate. Very nice hold.
Putting a stamp on this one, I want to mention that when that fight started, Team Exile had 6 ultimates. All of their ultimates were in their pocket, and Regenerate still came out on top there. Very, very dominant on this map. Does not want to go home, getting swept. And you know what? This is proving that they still have fight in them, still have this drive to get that win. You know, it's still absolutely winnable. Remember, everyone, winnable. Can I get a winnable in the chat?
Winnable. Yeah. Remember, we have not yet seen a third map. This could very well be the first time we see a third map in the Russian Overwatch Cup. It all depends on how Regenerate is going to play this one out. They're still staying on this Ryan Zarya comp. I love the McCree and the Hanzo to apply the pressure on the Pharah, as well as having that spam on the shield. But you got to be careful here of Pyro. If he positions himself correctly, the Pharah, I think it might just be too much to handle here.
Yeah, exactly. And Alex on the comfort pick of Widowmaker. You know, it seems like when he's on essentially a hit scan roll, that's where he can pop off. The dive's going to start to engage against this Ryan Zarya.
Just same God, though. He has no shield. He's got to be very careful. It's only at 500 HP. Had to recharge it there. And he's discorded as well, so he can't survive for long, and Pyro finishes him off. There's a D-Mech, though, onto Swallies. So both sides are fighting on a bit of a disadvantage here, but I think it's better on the side of the Team Exile because Alex, he knows the shield is down, and there he goes to Artemka and IDGAF, and now the Winston wants to pressure the rest of the team. Pyro's applying it on the outside, Alex onto the point itself, finds a triple between the two of them, and that is 5 kills on the side of just the 2 DPS picks. If they can finish off just Sayam God 2, that's a big stagger.
That is a big stagger. Just saying, God was trying to rush back to get, you know, he was the first pick in that fight, so he was trying to rush back to help his team. By the time he gets back, his whole team's already wiped. So that's going to be a little unfortunate. Regenerate needs to re-engage quickly. You don't want to give Team Exile time to set up, but it seems like they already have, especially with the 4 ultimates that they have, about to be 5 with just Wimbu.
Yeah, you see Alex here is holding the angle, but he wants to pop the infrasight. Now he knows where they're coming from, and that gives the rest of the team the information they need too. So the dive moves in. You see them getting pushed back here through the walls, and Jay Swinbu wants to take advantage of this. So he wants to move in a position where they can bottle them up in this corner. But I love the push that's coming out there. They know, but Pyro is there! He's up top with the double kill onto the 2 tanks there. They know they cannot res this, but they were forced to invest both support ultimates. That's so unfortunate. Loyo, though, gets a counter pick, but he knows that it just was all for naught there. He can't 1v6. Poor guy. But, I mean, you see, the reason why they were pushing him through that side room is because they wouldn't get pressured by the Pharah. But as a result, I mean, they put themselves in a prime position to just get shut down by that barrage from up top, and they want to push around on the outside here.
They forced out both support ultimates with that barrage, and there it goes. Just Wimbu. Oh, shutting down Loyo. He popped High Noon, didn't really get anything. Just Wimbu's trying to go for that environmental, but I don't GF.
Find it.
Yeah.
IDGAF again, yeah, takes out iHalix here. The Atom is down as well. The aggression is coming out from the side of Regenerate here. They want to take control of the point, but it's so hard when you've got the Transcendence and the bomb to contend with here. Swallies is back in, but he's knocked down before he gets the opportunity. And here's the Dragon Surge combo. It's going to take down 3. Pyro's up top. He's finished off, and this is the retake coming out from Regenerate here. They want to hold on to this point. They're living on a prayer. They've got their backs up on the wall, and they can't afford to give this one up once more.
Yeah, I was so impressed that Pyro kind of forced out both support ultimates with that barrage. You know, it was a little bit of a panic. Everyone pressing Q. And with that barrage, when it would take out the 2 tanks, it would force both support ultimates out. But now, by the time, you know, this fight re-engages, they already have it back. There's a lot of pressure being put on Regenerate.
Transcendence, though, is there. Kind of relieve some of that pressure, but Artemka's split needs to get the healing. He's able to get it in the... Now, they invest... both of their all support ultimates, and there's Loyo, catches iHalix, and there's the charge as well. Pyro's down, Swallies is demeched, and shortly finished off. Loyo is winning this fight almost single-handedly. He's taken justice into his own hands, the vigilante justice, and now, okay, Mr. Mustachio, all right, I see you there. You're just flexing on us, going around on the outside and escaping that fight. I saw you through that wall. You can't hide from me. Got X-ray vision. I'm like Superman.
Yeah. Okay. This fight's gonna start turning.
Speaking of X-ray vision, though, Jasam, God!
Oh,
no, he goes over the edge! He wanted to get a cheeky little charge kill there and try to hold on, but it's not going to be enough. Artemko, though, trying to relieve it, is going to take down the Atom. And again, this is pretty much going to be the last fight by either side, but Juthis is found. IDGAF is taking up a position on the outside where he can apply the pressure, and here comes the Dragon Surge combo. The damage there. Mr. Mustachio's fallen. 96% and counting. Jace Winboo is back onto the point. Artemka's there trying to shut them down. Jasam God is knocked down, though. This is going to be the most intense fight here between these two teams. They want to hold on. They've retaken it on the side of Team Exile, and you know they got to bomb rush the point as fast as possible here. Jirohara, he's stunned, though. He can't get through the window. Is it going to be enough? It's overtime now on the point. 99% on either side, and here comes Loyal with the high noon. It's on the outside, but he's never going to get the opportunity to use it, and this is going to be the Team Exile winning this one out. IDGAF, oh my goodness, he almost made it there, but Jace Winboo just charged him away. Team Exile win this one 2-0. 2-1 on Li Jing and 2-0 for the series here, but what an intense game that was.
Team Exile resetting their map differential. Now their map differential's at 0, while Regenerate drops down to 0-4. Still time to come back, and you know, from this map, showing great potential to come back. Insane play. Yeah, this is Loyo.
This was him just popping off. He knew he had to step up to the plate, and that was what was going to do. Do or be darned.
Yeah, and Loyo just saying, like, look, I know my team's down. You know, we're at the bottom of the standings right now. But with plays like this, you know, we have the potential to keep going on. We just need to fix some, you know, silly mistakes. And I feel like, you know, the kind of intro last mistake that they made was just same guy trying to go for that, you know, pick, trying to take someone down with him. Yeah, and then by the time, you know, that match starts, there's not really much else you could do. So congratulations to Team Exile. Resetting the map differential. Regenerate has some work to do, but there is a lot of time, so no worries.
Yep. They take it up 2-0, and our next set of the day is going to be the Oryx Grand Poisers versus Exius Esports. And we saw Exius play on Wednesday, and they took it up 2-0. And Oryx, they're making their debut match here, so we'll be excited to see what they want to bring to the table. And I'm going to see if we can't get one of these players in for an interview here. Would love it to be from either side, honestly, Regenerate or Team Exile, both. Just gonna wait and see what we see from that. But overall, close match between the two. Team Exile looked very strong throughout on Eichenwald, but then on Li Jing started to slip a little bit. Was very close. I think rather that they started to slip, but that Regenerate kind of found their footing, and they started to push back on them. So I think if we would have had one more map, I think it really would have been up there on who was going to win this one out. So Regenerate, again, that one mistake, Jasam God going for that charge pick. Would have gotten the value, but unfortunately, he just missed them all.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just something to improve from this next match. We're in the pro division, you know, they can't be those kind of mistakes right here, and that's going to be, you know, the key for them to come back is just getting that momentum right out of the gate. You know, it took them a while to find their footing, find out, like, okay, they took time for them to analyze their opponent, essentially. They had to figure out how Team Exile was going to play. But by the time that all happened, your back's already against the wall, and you're losing the last map. So yeah, Regenerate has a bright future, has a lot of potential to get a lot of wins, but not for today. Gonna be trying another day.
Good win though, definitely for sure from Team Exile. They're taking this up. They want to
Oh
reset
yeah.
that map differential, as we've said, but Regenerate now, they've just fallen further into the pit. They got a long work ahead of them in terms of clawing themselves out of it. And
Hmm.
again, we got this is just round two of groups, right? We've got
Right.
7 whole rounds still out there, going all the way into August 22nd before the playoffs begin to start here between these teams. And I mean, if you are Regenerate here, you've got a match on August 6th. You've got a match on the August 10th, and then you've got a match on August 17th, and then the 22nd to end out the group stages. So you still got
Hmm.
quite a lot of time here if you want to gain
Oh,
those points
definitely.
back. You just got to hit those books. You got to be studying these teams, watching the streams, seeing how they play, and then forming strategies with your coach or the rest of your team to try and counteract this. Here we go. Alex.
Ooh, okay.
Let's bring him in here for an interview. The Widow's superstar definitely popped off big time in that match. We're going to see if we can't get him in here or not. Hello, hello.
Yo.
Hello, Alex. Welcome back to the
All
interview.
right. Good to be back.
Very well played there. Nice job on Eichenwald and Lijiang Tower there in order to take the win, resetting that map differential, getting you guys back on your feet after
Exactly.
losing the first one.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, so how did it kind of feel to kind of reset the momentum? Because you did lose, the first match, the first round you guys essentially played, but then coming back strong in this one, your map differentials back in the positive. You're gonna start building up that momentum to kind of go towards those playoffs. And by the time you reach the playoffs, you're clearly gonna be, you want to be in the positive. You're gonna be, you want to be in those top three teams. So how do you feel like? Do you feel like this is going to get kind of that ball rolling, that momentum going?
Oh, definitely. Yes. This in the first match we faced Ronan Horde, which in my opinion is or what I think will be the toughest enemy we'll face.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think from now we have the potential, we have the talent to just keep this going, keep the wins going, and go 6-1.
Yeah, Ronin Horde, they're up 4 maps right now. They've gotten 2 wins in both of their matches they've played. So they're kind of taking the forefront here and kind of setting the pace that the rest of the teams have to catch up on. And are you worried about any of the other teams here? You did say Ronin Horde you felt like was going to be the toughest, but are there any other teams that you're a little bit afraid of from what you've seen them play so far?
In my opinion, this next match is actually going to be very interesting between Axios Esports and Orcs GP White. Because I think those two are also really, really strong teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it will be interesting to see how they play against each other, how they play, and I'm sure we'll be observing that game very closely.
Yeah, Axios saw them play the other day on Wednesday, and they did win. Both of those maps and taking it 2-0. Whereas Orcs, they haven't played yet, so this could be their debut in the tournament. And they want to show themselves, as the team that people should be afraid of, like you've said. So I think definitely it's going to be good for these teams to watch and observe this next match very closely.
Right, and you did mention, three teams. You talked about Running Horde, Orcs, and Exvius, and that is three teams, and only three teams make the playoffs. So, how do you think? What do you think for you guys is going to be the key to kind of, get ahead of one of those three teams that you mentioned?
Well, I think that we have faced Orcs before, and if I recall correctly, we it was a tournament as well, where we won very closely. So I think if we can repeat that, if we can, keep this momentum going that we got from this match, then I think we can definitely go on and at least take second place in case Ronan Horde should go 7-0.
So you got
Right.
a little bit of history between you and Orcs, do you?
Yeah. We faced them a couple of times. I think at least some of their players. Um, Under some of the older names. I think back when they were called. What was it? I forgot it. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, they are a good French team, definitely.
Yeah,
And
I
I
think
think,
they're all French team.
mm, and we faced them way back in Open Division. I think that was the first time we played against them, and then we versed them again in a later tournament. And yeah,
All right, yeah, that's super cool. Now, during this match, you played a lot of Sombra, so I feel like do you play Sombra because your team works around it, or is that just because like it's more of a natural pick or a pick you like?
I think right now it's because we wanted to experiment with Sombra. We wanted to see how she would do, or how we could play with her, if we could make it work. And in the end, we did. So I'm sure that we will be that we might actually pick up in a regular hero pool.
Oh, nice.
But it also depends, of course, how the next few scrim sessions are going to be with her, and if Blizzard decide to adjust some of the changes they've made to her.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Seems like for you, hit scan kind of is your specialty. A Widowmaker,
Mm.
you were definitely going off pretty hard and
Yeah.
almost single-handedly winning fights. But I mean, Loyo on the other hand of Regenerate, there was making some big plays as well. What do you think of some of the other hit scan players here that are in the RUOW Cup?
I think that I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry, but Hoike from Ronin Horde is an insane widow. Of course, not as insane as I am, but he
Ooh,
is good.
that's what I love to hear.
And in general, I think every team has a very respectable hit scan player. That you should never underestimate any widow you see,
Mm-hmm.
even if it isn't a widow or player who routinely plays widow. Everyone has the opportunity or the chance to pop off in a match with widow. That's why I like playing her so much. You can always do something, and if you don't, it's always your own fault. So you can't blame circumstances. Um, but yeah, I don't think there's a single hit scan player here that I would underestimate by any means.
All right. I mean,
All right.
that's a good mindset definitely to have. Just never underestimate players, no matter who they are, because like you said, I mean, under the right circumstances for them, they just have good positioning. They catch you off guard. They're just really really feeling it that day or something like that. They can just completely just start carrying the team as Widowmaker with those headshots. So I think it'll be interesting to see how these kind of hit scan players establish themselves in these initial group stages before getting ready for playoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
All right. Any final thoughts from everybody before we start getting ready for this next match?
No, I think we're all ready to go. I'm excited to see the future of Team Exile, just because they may have lost the first match because they won against like a tough opponent against Ronin Horde, but I feel like I'll see you guys in the higher end of the table, so I'm excited to see you guys there.
All right. Yeah, I hope we won't disappoint you.
All right.
All right.
Awesome. Well, all right. Thank you very, very much for joining us, everyone. And this was Halix from Team Exile. And we are going to be now preparing for the next match, which we talked about. It's going to be the Orcs GP White going up against Exeus Esports.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for joining.
All right. Again, wow. Interesting mindset to have for sure is that just never underestimate widows no matter what, because they can pop off, and if they start popping off, then it's your job. And I really loved the fact that he said what I like about widow is that if you don't pop off, then a lot of the times it's you who's to blame rather than your team or circumstances or anything else.
Right.
So it's good to recognize sometimes as a player that sometimes it's on you that you did mess up and that it was your fault at times where I feel like some players they don't take that upon themselves and they just play it like it's solo queue and they're just playing solely for themselves, and if even if they mess up they never want to admit it and they're just like, oh wow, my team sucks, what are they doing, they're not playing correctly. So that's a great mindset to have, and I'm excited to see what Helix is going to bring in the future.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm like I mentioned it during the interview. It's I'm excited to see Exile kind of in that mid to high, end tier of the table,
Hmm.
and like they are gonna reset, their momentum back to zero. So they are tied with Lowly Esports at the moment. Lowly Esports also going 2-2 on their map. So both teams were setting their map differential, and they're Exvius and Ronin Horde the team to catch. But here's the thing: if Orcs win the day here, Exvius could also restart, but that restart is not something that's positive like it was for Lowly or like it was for Team Exile. They don't want to restart on that zero map differential. They're +2 right now. If they get swept, they go back down to zero, while Orcs kind of takes over that +2 spot.
Hmm.
So, we're going to talk about standings every single round. So just get used to it. Don't worry, guys. We'll keep you updated on all those standings. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm super excited for the future.
Yeah, we'll make 100% sure that you do not ever forget what the current standings are, because they're the most important part of this whole tournament in preparation for the playoffs themselves, and which team is going to be able to take the prize here. And we're going to go to a bit of a pause. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna just put on some non-copyright gamer mix music here, and we will see you all after the break.
Where are you going? Going so fast tonight. Have you ever stopped beside the road to smell the rose of life? Take a breath now. Don't hold it in too long. 'Cause you might end up missing out on life's short little song. She's saying, ooh, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got one life to live. Don't let it go. Ooh, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got one life to live. Don't let it go. saying, ooh, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got.
Okay, well, we are now back after listening to 16 minutes of Solus 5. We are now ready to go in the next match. Everyone has filed into the lobby. Took us just a little bit, but now we're finally ready to get started here. It's going to be the Orcs GP White going up against the Axios Esports here. And if you were here before the break, you heard Alex. We brought him in here, and he said he was hyped to see these teams go up against each other. So, I mean, I'm excited too here. This is going to be the first time I'm seeing Orcs GP play, and I've seen Axios play. They're up 2-0 so far, so I can't wait to see what they're going to bring.
Yeah, definitely. This is the first time we're seeing them play in the Russian Overwatch Cup just in general. And remember, guys, this is the all-French team. Other teams have a kind of, a mix of nationalities. But now Orcs is the only one who's, kind of, solid, just French. These are the French boys. They're here in town. They're here to fight. And the first match is still going to be Eichenwald. We're still in this round 2, still in the very early stages. And Axios, getting the win last time. They are in that +2. Now, I mentioned it earlier, but just in case you didn't join us there, I'm going to mention it again. Right now, the standings, our Orcs haven't played a game yet, so they're still at, the even 0 in the map differential. Axios is +2 right now. Now, if Orcs sweep Axios, they take their spot in that kind of +2 range, while Axios drops down to 0. Essentially, their map differential goes back to nothing, being a straight even 0, which isn't good, but it isn't bad either. It's definitely not bad at all. But if the Axios wins this here, they go up +4. Assuming it doesn't go to round 3. If it's a clean 2-0 win for Axios, they go up to +4, tying Ronin Horde for first place. While Orcs is not going to get off to a good start, dropping down to -2. Now, if it goes to round 3, both teams only really take a hit of 1 essentially. Clearly the winner goes up only +1, while the loser only goes down -1. So that's really round 3s are going to be a little odd, but still, the Orcs still wants to get off to a good foot. Wants to get off to a good start. When they come out of the gates, if they could capture a win here against Axios, that would make a statement essentially, because Axios does seem to be one of the better teams here in the Russian Overwatch Cup. So I'm excited to see Orcs play.
And yes, in case you were wondering, Hammett is banned. They're just messing around with him right now. Yeah, this is going to switch back over. And 12 just messing around and spawn with the rest of the boys. And, we talked about this last time. Wally on the side of Axios here. He's a player with a little bit of history behind him. He's got some long-standing, tournament play for quite some time. And, last time we heard, we brought in Basso, and we were talking to him, and he said Wally is kind of their voice of reason, as the Zen. The voice where when he talks, everyone else shuts up and they listen to him, because he's got that experience, he's got the knowledge, and he's just a player that keeps everyone's spirits up, morale up, So I think definitely that's going to give them an edge here, as both sides are going to be running the Farm Mercy offense with this interesting triple tank comp, whereas the defense here has this dive. It's going to be up to the Farm Mercy duels on both sides to win the ground war before focusing on the ground.
Exactly, yeah, and the dive is going to, dive defense, they always give ground a little bit to kind of counter dive them. But with this triple tank combination, there's a lot of health there, and with the D.Va, there's a lot of mobility to kind of fly around. So yeah, I 100% agree it's going to be the Farmers that dictate the point, and Haken is going to make it official.
Yep, first blood has been drawn. Duplica flies down. Now he's looking for the kill onto 12 here. A little bit of lag. I am NA, so it's going to happen. But 12 is very low here, almost. Actually nailed by Hakan, but Little Flame is going to burn him out of the sky there. And here we go. You got Hakan. He wants to be careful now. He's starting to get some pressure from the D.Va and the rest of the team, but the offense is going to be pushed back for now. The dive defense seemed like it was working to their advantage and just getting those initial picks onto Duplicafly with the help of Hakan here. And now he's already got the barrage. Little Flames got the Infrasight, and Starboys got the Valkyrie.
Yeah, and Orcs winning their first fight here of the Russian Overwatch Cup, and essentially making a statement there. They do have a lot of ultimates that are useful to coming up on essentially all 6, with the Dekus a little bit behind, but they do have the barrage, and the barrage I feel like is going to be essential. Pop that in for sight, see where everyone is, and then land a tasty barrage. We saw it happen last round.
Let's take a look. Where is Hakan setting up? Up top, in the air, dropping down. There it is. Duplicafly and Wally are both down, and Crow soon to follow if he's not careful. There it is. The D-Mech. Bassa was split from the team. Wanted to support 12, but had to get out of there as fast as possible once he saw the barrage. So this is the Orcs holding strong. Forced to invest the Transcendence here from Pika. Wants to be able to push them back, and that is going to do it. No one is going to die on the side of the Orcs. They will res Little Flame back up just a little bit earlier, and the offense is pushed back once more.
Yeah, and it looks like Axios is getting held back right now, trying to break through, the ultimate dive defense that is the Orcs right now. I'm so impressed that they're running this, just from an on-paper standpoint. It seems like, they Axios has a lot of health, a lot of longevity, it seems like. But Orcs is just wiping them out, so props to that. Little Flame's going to take out 12 from the sky.
Yeah, you see Hakan is no longer available to get the pick. So Little Flame has got to step up to the table, getting the picks himself, and Pika as well. Now Primal Rage from Decast, and you saw in that fight that Pyrono was pressured by Decast, who did eventually use his Primal Rage to get out of there. And then when the Widow has to deal with the Winston in your face like that, that gives the other Widowmaker, which was Little Flame, the room that he needs to pop off and get the picks.
Yeah, and since they are running the double DPS on the side of Axios, there is no double support here, so Basso's the only one. So essentially, you kind of have to leave 12 a little bit. You can't pharmacy as much as you'd like. So look at this, all the ults getting thrown in there for at the moment. Right, and Starboard goes down.
12 was on a mission in the back line to take out the Zenyatta of Pika, and it just wasn't going to be available to do that. But Basso is actually going to get the frag here, going Battle Mercy himself here, getting a little bit of Neptuno flashbacks, but he used the Valkyrie as well and is able to heal the team and give Wally the space to use his whole hog and find the kills that they need, and they're going to cap this with 30 seconds. Sack finally getting their momentum rolling here. It was looking a little bit shaky for a while, but they were able to find their footing and get in there as fast as possible because of Hakan. Or no, not because of Hakan, excuse me, because of 12, rather. 12 went in the back, was looking for the kill in the Zen, didn't find it, but he diverted resources and distracted the front line, so the rest of his team was able to push in and get the picks. Even though he died, it was a tactical death to allow his team the room that he needs, and now Hakan is on the Tracer.
Yeah, Hakan switching onto that Tracer, trying to put a little more pressure on that backline. Going to rotate around, find its peaks, but the backline dives on him instead. So it's a little bit of switch. Pyrono takes out Little Flame, and that's going to be a key pick.
Down you fall. Pyrono getting that headshot close range. Doesn't even need to get it full charge because Hakan was already low. And now the defense has to set up here on this high ground and dive onto 12, who's out of position. So alone. You can't win that one. Nice try, though, 12, I mean, I get it. Sometimes, Reddit baby raging all the time. They're like, oh, Brigitte can 1v6. She can't even 1v3 against the tank. So let that tell you something, for all those Reddit folks out there, who think Brigitte's OP. Newsflash. She isn't.
Ooh, there's a spicy take there.
Spicy take.
Got some spicy takes, but look at this Little Flame taking a spicy angle himself, trying to get the angles, but the dive's going to come on them and try to fall on them, but Little Flame's not having any of it.
Yeah, the Pyrono here is being pressured. He's going to be taken down by Decast, who's on a bit of a flank mission. He heard the footsteps and jumped over the wall to take advantage of that, and now 12 is being batted around himself here by Decast, who does get shield bashed though finally. He's out of the Primal Rage, but he's still angry, still wants the picks. That's his secret. He's always angry. He's like the Incredible Hulk, and he is the Incredible Decast right now, getting the picks and applying the pressure, making the space that his team needs to hold on with 52 seconds left. You really only got 2 more pushes here if you're the offense right now.
Yeah, Axios needs to kind of kick it in gear just a little bit. Orcs dominating this map right now, and they do have a lot of ults. They have the ult advantage, and General Starboy's about to get that Valkyrie, so it's going to be a hard fight for Axios to kind of run into, especially if Reckless lands a big bomb.
Both sides, of course, do have the bombs, so they can get back in the fresh mech. But here we go. They're going to be pushing through the castle for now. They're found out, though. The infraset from Little Flame gives them the information, and he's going to use it to his advantage as the dive comes in. To Kest, he's going to be finished off. The counter dive was simply too much for him to handle, and he is going to be the first one to fall in this fight. And now with the Winston down, there's no shield, there's no pressure. They're forced to invest the bomb just to stay alive, as well as the Transcendence does catch Pyronal. Perhaps he wasn't looking for that one, but now 5 seconds left and counting. This is when Exeus needs to step up to the plate and hit a home run here, but it's just so hard with the Kest now back in the fight. The Mercy was able to sneak off the res, and it just might be enough to keep everyone alive here. 12 is getting close to his blade, however. This could give the offense the room that they need. He's around 90% here. Dragon Strike, though, is going to try to even things out, get them off the point. Undeterred, though, they're going to hold on tight, and Basso now has the Valkyrie to support 12 as he pops the blade and the bomb as well in the backline. Starboy's looking to get caught here by, actually, the counter Mercy, and now with Pika falling, Wally does fall, but it's simply not enough, and they need to keep pushing this cart now. Still overtime ticking down. Little Flame's back. They're going to be able to reset for one fight, and the question is, do they have enough ultimates?
That really is the question. It's going to be, you know, the key to kind of winning this fight. They used everything. Both teams used a lot of what they had. Khan switching over to the Sphere, and I feel like that's a good pick, and they're trying to get some boops here. But they do have to touch the point. They have to touch the point to make sure it doesn't get it.
Go. Reckless is there. Kest is there as well. Forced to use the Primal Rage now as he was getting a little bit low. Still got the Discord trying to knock him off the edge. And down goes Wally. Pyronal soon to follow. And now 12 is on the point. Trying to hold things on with Basso. But I don't think it's just going to be enough. There's too much damage. Simply too much. And the Orcs are going to hold them before the gate. This is something we see every single time in the RUOW Cup. Is just teams can't get it past that second Eichenwald gate. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's just, you know, Orcs coming out of the gate saying this is their first match. You know, some teams even have played 2 so far. You know, Ronin has played two matches before Orcs even gets 1. So it's a little feels bad. And they're saying, hey, look, we're still here to play. You know, you guys may have gotten warmed up, but this is our first match, and we're still here to play. And that's what they were doing. They were showing, you know, their dominance. They held the capture point for so long. Essentially, you know, it almost got to overtime. I think it was like 30 seconds or something before overtime even. And then Exeus is finally able to cap the point. They get the cart moving, but they're staggered. They staggered right as they come out of the gate, and so it's just hard. You know, Orcs is just raining down on them. They're executing at the level they need to be executing. And I feel like, you know, it's all coming down to the DPS able to do it. You know, Little Flame is matching Pyronal for every shot. You know, Pyronal won a fight, but then right after that, Little Flame will come out, get a headshot, right back at it. So props to them. Props to everyone kind of matching it. And we do have a very intense fight. I feel like this is one of the, you know, this is a must-see fight here in this early rounds.
Orcs GP, you mentioned it before, you touched on it a little bit, but this is their first match, whereas Exeus has already played 2. This is their second, right? Ronan has played 2. Lolly Esports has played 2. There are lots of teams out there who have already played 2 rounds, whereas this is their first, which means that later on, you know, they eventually, on the side of the Orcs, are going to have to play 2 rounds very close together, right? Whereas, you know, these teams, they can kind of get some breaks later on, you know, in the fight. But the defense is set up with the Orisa Diva double sniper Mercy Zen composition, which is coming into the meta just a little bit. And you look at the offense here, they're running this triple tank, trying to mimic the comp that Exile was running, or Exeus was running.
Yeah, exactly. The Orcs is going to, you know, start to put pressure on them fairly quickly. There goes the holds, but Pika taking a breather, and Pyronal is going to find the first pick on the Little Flame. That might stop this offense right here, but no, they're still going in, and with the Kest down, they're committing a lot to this fight. There goes Pika, and it might just be time for a full restart.
Yep, you know, they thought they could get it even with 1 down, but unfortunately, the 5v6 was simply not enough. Again, Pyronal just putting up, setting himself in a position where he could find the shots from the side through the Orisa shield, and they couldn't, you know, really deal with him very well because there's pressure on 2 sides, and you have to decide who you're going to shoot at. Do you want to shoot at the Widow, or do you want to shoot at the main tank line? And it's just such a hard decision. So they're going to switch it up, moving over to the Goats. They're pushing in right away. Triple tank, triple support, but they've set up on the high ground. What are you going to do to this one? Pika actually going for a Moira fade jump there. I don't know if you caught that. That was pretty sick to throw an orb up there, but, you know, style doesn't win fights. It's all about the execution, and let's see if they've got the basics down enough to win this. The Kest now needs to block the shield, and as a result, he's going to lose a lot of that on his own, or needs to block the bomb, and he's going to lose a lot of damage on his own shield. But undeterred, Little Flame and Pika are finding the picks. Little Flame and Pika both have just been really good in this past fight, and Pika already with the Coalescence here to win out the fight. I mean, I'm pretty sure all the picks went to just those two.
Yeah, holding back the Orcs GP White is like holding back water with your hands. These guys are just going to keep flowing past you, even when you think, okay, I'm holding back most of them. A little water is going to, tip over your hand, go around the side, and it's going to be, it's looking very difficult to hold these guys. And with 4.5 minutes, they're going to start steamrolling pretty quickly unless Exodus does something.
In the words of Jackie Chan, flow like water, and I think that's the motto that Orcs GP White might just be living by here. But here we go, Starboy on this Lucio. He's sticking on it for now, wants to stick with his team, and they want to stay together to counteract this, Orisa D.Va, because the D.Va has to contest by herself, and when she has to contest versus an entire big old ball of death like that, it's not very fun. But Akana is positioned on the side here, but Basso finds him again. Basso's just been playing Battle Mercy right now this whole game, finds Dekest as well. What on earth? But as a result, he's gonna not be able to get the heals on his team, and Wally is found, and then he's soon to follow. Here's a Coalescence on the side of Pika. He set up a bit of a crossfire here in a way with the Coalescence, and it's just enough. Little Flame has been getting all the picks. I mean, he's just high charge with the bubbles here constantly, and they're pushing forward here with 3 minutes 44. Even if they lose this next fight, they're really looking good to take this.
Yeah, Little Flame, he was
you gotta get there.
originally
No
on the
one's there.
DPS, yeah. No one's getting there. Duplicafly is going to finally set up some ordnance there, and there goes the Transcendence, so everyone's going to get on the point. Easy. Hakan's going to find 12!
Duplicafly's supercharger is now down. There's a bomb. Duplicafly's fallen. It's Pyronal and Crow on the point, forced to invest the bomb, but no one is there. They're all finished off, and the bomb is just gonna go right into the shield of Dekest, and the Orcs GP White take this pretty solidly. That was a great take by them, and just able to, like you said, just matching him shot for shot every single time. Anytime Pyronal popped off next fight, then it was just their DPS that would do better, and their tank play was stellar. Dekest was a great Winston here. I mean, you look at, he's getting the play of the game here, just knocking him all around, making the space, relieving the pressure on his front line, and allowing them to pop off 7 Primal Rage kills. That is crazy.
That is crazy. That's I can't even say it. And you were mentioning it earlier, Little Flame switched over to that tank role, and yeah, great tank play. Zarya getting a triple kill there at the end out of nowhere, so great play coming out here. I'm so excited to see what the rest of this match brings us. Orcs coming out of the gate, they're just going hard. They're already ready to kind of go into this match. They're saying, look, we've been sitting around waiting. We saw you guys been playing, and we just kind of been sitting on the sidelines like, when's it our turn? And then it finally becomes their turn, and they're coming out swinging hard against Exodus.
Absolutely, you gotta swing up hard to get into these matches. And here we're gonna see Lijiang Tower once more. We saw it last time the teams did play it, and we're gonna see how exactly the other team wants to go about this here. As if you don't mind, I'm just updating the overlays here. Just want to make sure everyone knows, on the stream what matches we're playing. I am not gonna lie, I forgot to put it out on the last game, so I want to make sure that I get it up this time. And here we go. Look at this. There's 1, there's 2. Where's the image? Bam! It's on the stream now. Lijiang Tower. Everyone knows, even though we already said it. And it's not gonna matter because I'm just gonna switch right back into the game. So you only saw that for about a split second, but regardless, I think if there's a match that's going to see a round 3, it might just be this one. We heard from iHalix, Orcs GP White, and Exodus are both teams that he is going to keep an eye on and be afraid of their... Oh, okay. Starboy, I know what you're going for here with that glitch with your Reaper to teleport in the middle. All right.
All right. So, yeah, they're going to come out of these gates. I'm assuming... Ooh, Starboy's going to stay... Oh, no, Starboy switched off. Okay.
Yep,
well, it seems like it just... Yeah, got to jabate me like that, Starboy. But, yes, I agree with you. This could go to a round 3 easily. And I love that Orcs is already in the positive now. They're in +1.
They're looking for the kill into Pyronal here. The tank of Dekest and then Hakan as well are going to be able to finish off Basso, actually. You look for the spider and you come up with the moth. I mean, okay, there's still bugs, but, at the end of the day, both picks are still valuable. And Pyronal gets 1 clipped by Hakan here. He almost picked up the kill into 12 as well, but Wally is there to finally shut him down. but I think the picks were just too much. Khan and DeCast, both of them together, working in tandem, working in a harmony. They've really got the synergy together, and they were able to find Basso right away. And of course, Exius knows, gotta reset. You can't keep fighting that one, and they're going to be pushed back for the time being.
Yeah, look, they're so close to their ultimates already. You don't want to give them any more ult charge than that. Hakan and Starboy, super close to those ultimates, and that's all Hakan. One-clipping them, Hakan's going to try to find a sneaky angle on them.
What is this? Alright, 12. Bringing out the Doomfist. I see you. Don't think you can hide from this. Oh, the Kest is there. He's looking for the punch. Not going to find it. Whoever just wants to force him off the high ground here in 12 on this Doomfist pick could give them the room they need. He wants to get the aggression in. He's looking for the kills, but he's actually going to, for the time being, get onto the point. His team went on the outside, whereas he went right up Main Street. Now, punching DeKest into the wall is going to give him the damage they need. So Reckless and Starboy, they're forced to cover each other as they get the res off there, and the Valkyrie was used as well, and he's going to be finished off. Bomb, though, on the outside. Not going to find a whole lot, but DeKest and Duplicafly, or DeKest finds Duplicafly. He's got his number, and Hakan does get the pulse bomb kill into Pyronal, but Duplicafly is able to be res. He was in a position where that was available to him, and this is actually looking like the Exius is going to take this fight. I think 12 here on this Doomfist was a great switch, you know, able to do the damage onto DeKest right away, and then force them to invest Starboy's resurrection, and he actually paid for it with his life, and they lost the Valkyrie as well, so they're going to retake. But here comes the aggression again. DeKest is back onto the point, and with the 2 picks already, this is looking like a very quick retake here. The Meteor Strike was used, but you saw Pika there, body blocked it to make sure he couldn't find any damage on the members of his team behind him. That was a fast retake if I've ever seen one.
Look, I'm going to point out how fast Hakan is getting these bombs. At the start of that last fight, Hakan used a bomb. Has it again already. Granted, Tracer does get those bombs, especially if you're, landing those body shots, landing those headshots, and there goes Hakan in the back line. He's going to get Basso.
He's got your number. He's knocking on your door. He's there. He's like the UPS delivery man, when you get a sign for the package. He's like, listen, sign the package. Get a pulse bomb to the face, and now he's pressuring Crow as well. Crow is down. Hakan's finding the picks, and they're going to hold strong here. They've already are down numbers, and they've got to get the respawns, and there's just not enough on the point on the side of Exius to keep themselves alive. They're like a lifeguard, or they're like a swimmer without a life preserver here, and you don't know how to swim, and you're in the rapids. There's just not a whole lot you can do. You got to trickle in back and forth one by one. The res almost gets off by Basso, but Reckless is there as the baby diva, no, not even the baby diva, just the normal diva, to clip him down. And that was a pretty dominating take there by Orcs GP, 100-14. They instantly retook that.
Yeah, it feels like time was just going by so fast for Exius. It seems like as they were kind of filing in, getting ready for a push, by the time it even starts, half their team's already gone, and that's just props to Orcs. I feel like they're kind of playing in a way. They're playing small ball. They're not hitting these home runs, not getting these old combination team wipes. They're getting one at a time, 2 at a time. And then by the time the fight starts, they're already outnumbering the others on the team of Exius. So they're playing in a way this kind of small ball strategy, and I love this. They're not trying to get full team whites. They're trying to pick away at the essential people, so that when it comes down to the fights, you only have to take care of 2 or 3 in order to win it. So I love this play from Orcs right now.
Yeah, Far Mercy on both sides. Whoever here, they're looking for that as usual. Lijiang Garden is all about the Far Mercy. Now the duel. Hakan takes to 1 hit. He's very low HP, and there it is. He's found by 12. Winning the first Pharah duel. He didn't even know where he was until the last bit, but Duplicafly down. The Winston's is gone, and they're able to res Pika back into the fight. They have both healers, but 12 is applying the pressure on the point. Little Flame is down, but he's finally killed by DeCast. Pharah can't stay afloat for long, and DeCast, they're picking up 3 to win out the fight. 12 had the initial picks, but in the end, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, it wasn't enough at all, and it's gonna be like like I was saying, it seemed like even when the fights are going in the favor, Little Flame switching on to some McCree. I love this because now everything gets close quarters. You try to engage
12.
McCree
Oh my
goodness!
goodness!
And Hakan.
That was absolutely disgusting. Both of those air shots. He just hit them both one after another. No pause at all My goodness, that is some insane. That is an insane fair play. That's one for the highlight reels if I've ever seen one here. In 12, he's got to be feeling a little frustrated right now. He's just being shut down by Hakan. You know, even though he got the picks, they still won the fight in that first one. And this is just letting Orcs get the point. I mean, I might have to eat my words because I said this match might have gone to a round 3, but the way Orcs GP is playing this, I mean, I don't even know if there is going to be one now. 12. And Hakan, finally, Hakan is down. 12 hit the first, and Wally just had the follow-up, and this is looking like Exius might have a chance to retake.
Yeah, and the body of Hakan fell out of bounds. It fell off the map, so no chance for a res. They are going to invest the Transcendence to try to hold this, and I feel like that's a good move right there because you lose one of your main DPS, but Pika's getting pressured, and there goes Pika.
Yeah. Here comes 12, though, with the barrage on the point. He wants to get a good opportunity to use it, and with the Transcendence, he finally can. Bomb invested from Reckless. Wants to get a fresh one because it was getting pretty low, and here comes the Justice from Hakan. It's going to go down, though. It's not going to find anything, and now 12 with his own finds the Kest. That's going to be it, and they're going to be able to retake, though. Pyronal was there to find Starboy. He's on the Tracer. He's got the bomb, and now they need to hold on here. With 86%, you really only have 15 seconds if they recap.
Yeah, and I love that they didn't invest all of their ultimates. You know, in lower tier plays, we often see that all those ultimates get invested into a fight, and then you're holding it with nothing. They still have Duplicify's Primal Rage, so they can hold it for a while. They have longevity ults, so they could last for a very long time, and Little Flame's gonna go down.
The Tracer of Pyronal wins the duel, but Little Flame gets a second shot here, a second chance at life. He did not yet survive full brain death, so they were able to, get the defibrillators in. But 12, meanwhile, is going to be the one to fall, and that is going to be permanent. Pyronal's trying to pressure them right now, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's trying to take down Pika, but Pika is going to actually find him in return there. The Zenyatta is just it's crazy, when you get the orb volley in the Tracer's face, there's not a whole lot you can do, and now he's being pressured by 12, however, and he actually is going to find the pick. Starboy's there with the res, though, had the Valkyrie, is going to use it, and here's a retake, 90% on the point. If you are the Exius right now, you need to get there as soon as possible. Duplicify is going to do just that. Basso investing the Valkyrie. Here comes the tanks, but Pyronal is going to go down. He's going to need to switch off this Widow if he wants to contest the point. And now Duplicify has the Primal Rage. He can hold on for quite some time here, especially when you got Basso as well. But Basso has got to stay alive here. Got to be the Cockroach Mercy. Never wants to die. Whereas on the point itself, all the numbers again, the offense of Exius just might not be enough. It's just Basso left, and he's finished off. The OT slowly burning down. Can anyone get there? Pyronal gets himself in using the grapple hook, but here comes the barrage just to zone them all off the point, and no one's going to be able to touch this. And I said this would go to round 3, but it's not actually going to. The Orcs GP White take this 2-0 on both maps in what seemed to be a very one-sided game. Exius, they gotta be feeling a little bit down after that one. They reset it back to a differential of 0 here. And Orcs GP, like you said, Pulse, at the beginning, they're gonna be the ones to take this, and now they're up 2-0, looking very good so far.
Yeah, definitely. They essentially just took Exius' spot in the standings. They are the second place team now, right behind Ronin Horde. We're going to keep saying it over and over until we reach round 4. It's early in the stages. So, the standings don't really mean too much in these early standings. It's just kind of get the ball rolling. But then once we kind of get in those middle stages to the end stages, that's where these, early games might come back to hit them. So that's where, the pressure is going to be on for these teams. And, these top teams, I feel like they're just going to go back and forth all throughout. Only 3 teams make it to the playoffs. So it's going to be a duel between, these top tier teams like Exius, like Orcs, like Ronin, all those teams. So I'm excited to see what the future holds. But yeah, for right now, Orcs is going to win the day.
Yeah. To recap, Regenerate won 2. No, I'm wrong. Team Exile. Team Exile won 2-0 over Regenerate. So Regenerate lost 2, and they're going to drop down even further in the standings now at a -4. Whereas Team Exile evening it out, and they're going to move up to the middle phases. And Orcs GP, listen, they saw Exius' spot. They wanted Exius' spot, so they yoinked Exius' spot in the standings. And now they're going to go up +2, only behind Ronin Horde, who's played 2 maps so far. And Ronin isn't going to be playing until August 6th. This gives Team Exile or no, not rather not Team Exile. Yeah, Ronin Horde is gonna be playing next against Regenerate, and that might be what they need to take themselves up 6-0, or Regenerate, trying to claw themselves out of the pit that they've perhaps dug themselves in. And Team Exile is going to be playing as well, so we're going to see iHalix again. They're going up against Not a FaZe, who we saw last time lost 2-0 over Exeus, so it'll be interesting to see how that match plays out. And that's going to be all for today. Thank you for tuning in, of course. Once more, I was Rien, your play-by-play caster, and with me was Pulse, your color caster. Hope you all enjoyed the matches that we've got in day... What is this? Day 3. This is day 3, indeed, of the Russian Overwatch Cup Pro Division, and we will see you all on the 6th once more. Ronin Horde versus Regenerate, Team Exile versus Not a FaZe. We will see you all then, but until then, have a great day, everybody, or night, depending on where you are.
All right, everybody, have a great day.